Hi, my name is Justin Waddell. This is my presentation on quantum dots and quantum dot solar cells. Today we will talk about the introduction and background of quantum dots and quantum dot solar cells, recent developments, and the future outlook, and then resources. So, brief introduction. Quantum dots were discovered in 1981. They've just been kind of the subject of lab research until recent years, where they have recently become an emerging third generation of solar cell to go along with standard crystalline silicon solar cells and thin film solar cells. They are a nanocrystal structured semiconductor. They have unique properties based on the size of the dot. They are relatively simple to produce and to process, and they have a theoretical conversion efficiency of 60+% versus the current solar cell conversion efficiency limit of about 30%. What is a quantum dot? A quantum dot is a small sphere of semiconductor material that is approximately 2 to 10 nanometers in diameter. They can be tuned for different band gaps simply by adjusting the size of the dot grown. Because they are nanocrystals, they make use of properties of quantum mechanics. They can be produced using a chemical reaction in solution at room temperature. This helps keep costs down and makes the production relatively simple. How do quantum dots work? By changing the size of the dot, it tunes the band gap, which allows increased absorption of the range of sunlight wavelengths. They have a property called hot injection, where you can inject carriers from a higher excited state, minimizing thermalization energy losses. The biggest deal about quantum dot solar cells is MEG, or multiple exciton generation. Quantum dots have the capability of producing 2 to 3 excitons from a single photon of light. Now, an exciton, as you may remember, is a electron-hole pair, and a single exciton is generally produced in a standard silicon cell. This allows double or triple the amount of exciton production from a single cell, greatly increasing the efficiency and energy production from a single cell. Shown here in the upper left is a TEM electron microscope image of single quantum dots. There is a scale provided showing 5 nanometers for the left array. What appears to be gaps between the uniform structure of quantum dots are actually organic ligands that hold them in place and keep the crystalline structure. Quantum dots are tunable to different wavelengths of light based on size. The smaller the size, the closer to the blue end of the light spectrum, and the larger the size, the closer to the red end. This directly corresponds with the band gap. For review, a traditional silicon photocell is made out of crystalline silicon. It generates a single electron-hole pair from a light photon, has a limit of 30% efficiency, is fixed band gap, and uses p-n junctions. A quantum dot photocell can have several different makeups, but the most common being the one shown, a TiO2 CDSE cell. They can be produced relatively inexpensively. They have adjustable band gaps. Multiple band gaps and dot sizes can be combined in a single cell for multi-junction cells that greatly increase the amount of light absorbed. Current efficiencies are around 9%. Recent developments in quantum dots. In 2013, NREL demonstrated molecular self-assembly of quantum dots to form solar cells. This is a big deal not only in the solar industry, but industries such as quantum computing, because it showed along a nanowire that the quantum dots would self-assemble in the optimum spot, making assembly relatively simple. From 2011 to 2014, quantum dot cell efficiency climbed from 4.4% to 9% in research. While this may seem relatively low compared to the current 30% in standard crystalline silicon solar cells, standard cells have had over 6 decades to get where they're at, versus the 1 or 2 decades spent on quantum dots. Researchers in 2014 developed a way to spray colloidal suspended quantum dot mixture onto flexible surfaces. This has great potential because you can essentially just spray on and scrape the solution to create a quantum dot surface. Future outlook for quantum dots. Solar windows are a possibility. Transparent windows that absorb sunlight and generate electricity. Spray-on solar panels, because they've been shown to be able to be sprayed on in solution. You can pretty much turn anything into a solar panel. Other uses of quantum dots recently have been in graphical displays to improve LCD displays for more vivid colors and brighter whites. Because they self-assemble and they are produced in solution at room temperature, they can be super cheap to make, and with super cheap cells, it can bring down the installation and manufacture cost of solar modules and solar systems. Very high efficient cells will increase to increased overall efficiency in solar power, increasing the appeal and generating more electricity with less footprint. This has been my presentation on quantum dot solar cells. For more information, feel free to follow any of these links following the presentation or post questions in the discussion. Thank you.